to settle down. The bent legs is a good way of doing it. Oh, and we can listen to the birds today. Listen to the birds and don't think about the rats. That's my advice. Just allow that back to settle. Just to kind of ease outwards. As if it were melting on the floor. Check the back of the neck is long, so we haven't tilted the head too far up or down. Relax the shoulders out. So just allow the front of the shoulders to, well, again, spread outwards. So trying to release the tension across the front of the shoulders into the chest. Feeling that contact with the back of the shoulders, in between the shoulder blades and the floor. Finding some softness through the face. Eyes closed if that's comfortable for you. Yeah, there's music close to Sandra. I don't want it on too loud because then it comes through the speakers here. I mean, to the people on Zoom, which is a bit distracting. And then we're going to think about the lower half of the body. So seeing if we can relax through the glutes. I think the internet went off, so I think it was, is it back on? Yeah, great. There we go, should be working now, Maureen. Great. So the legs are bent, the knees are pointing up. We're going to do some pelvic tilts. So we just arch the back to breathe in. And drop the back down to the floor to breathe out, curling the tailbone up. So curling through the lower half of the body. Breathing in, arching the back, finding some space between the lower back and the floor. Breathing out, dropping it back down. Continuing the movement with your breath. Finding that connection between your breath and that pelvic tilt. Trying to make the movement last the whole of your breath. And then we just find somewhere in the middle, somewhere centered. Let go of any tension in the hips, if you feel any there, if you can. And then we're going to bring the knees into the chest. Holding on to those legs somewhere, either back of the knees or front of the knees. A little rock from side to side. See if we can just allow ourselves to notice how the front of the thighs feel. Up into those hip crease. Round to the backs of the thighs into the glutes. Allowing the back to broaden out as you breathe in, particularly across the lower back and the mid back. Then we take the feet up to the ceiling. Maybe giving the back of the legs a little rub. Holding on or not holding on. And we find the movement in the feet again from here. Then we take the feet wide as is comfortable, and you still sort of feel like you're in control. So you can hold on to the legs if that helps. Here. Feeling the stretch down the inside of the legs. And then we're going to drop those knees into the armpits, feet up to the ceiling for our happy baby. Again, you can just hold on to the back of the thighs if you want, ankles or feet. But what we're trying to do is allow those knees to drop down to the floor. Opening up the hips. And then we bring the feet together, keeping the knees where they are. Taking hold of the lower legs or feet if you can. So just feeling the stretch through the thighs. Focusing on our breath, seeing if we can let go with each out breath. And then we're going to bring the knees together, back into the chest. Maybe noticing how this might feel different now to how it felt before. Going to keep the right knee in, and we're going to drop the left foot down. I think I've got a sweet wrapper in my pocket. Oh, no, it's not. It's the label of my t-shirt. I'm not quite that bad. So we're going to take this right foot up to the ceiling. So the left foot is still bent, or left leg is still bent. The right foot goes up to the ceiling, straightening out the leg. Let's see if we can just drop that lower back down fully to the floor. So bring the pelvis to a more neutral position like we found before. So we're not tilting it. And then we're going to keep this right leg where it is. We're going to straighten the left leg out along the floor. And you might want to hold on to the leg if you wish. You might want to have some movement in the foot just to distract you. Makes it a little easier. From the tension of holding your foot up there, leg up there. And then we're going to bring this right knee back to the chest. Left leg stays where it is. We're going to reach out for our strap. So I'm going to take the strap, take it round the right foot. The sole of the foot, it could be by the ball of the foot, or it could be more in the center. And you can take that right foot up to the ceiling. And the idea with the strap is to be able to keep the right leg straight. So in order to straighten it, it may need to go closer to the floor. We really want to think about having a straight leg as much as possible. So it's not about how high up the foot goes. In fact, we don't want to take it to the extreme anyway, because we want to see if we can find some softness here to make this as easy for us as possible. So you can always hold further down the strap. I've got some competition with the birds today. They're very noisy. Breathing fully into the front of the body. Imagining that that leg is super light, super easy, just like it was with the arms last week. And then we're going to take the right leg over to the right. So we don't want to take it all the way over down so that we fall onto one side. So we want to see if we can still keep some heaviness through this left side of the body. Feeling stretched down the whole of the inside of the right leg. So you can hold that strap in one hand, if that makes it easier. Or you can hold on to it with both hands. Waiting for some softness to come. And then we're going to bring this leg back up to the center. Hold it here for a little bit. You might feel like you can release a little bit more into this stretch this time, coming back to it. Maybe it makes it a little bit easier to straighten it. So we're now going to take the leg over to the left, to the other side. So across the body. It doesn't have to be super far. It's not a twist. It's about finding that stretch down the outside of the leg, into the glutes. If it feels too nervy as a stretch, like it's kicking off any sciatic problems, then bring it more central. Or allow the leg to bend a little bit. See if we can relax and release through the shoulders. That's probably because of the way it's crossing over. So you maybe could try it a bit closer to your chest, slightly different position. Does that make any difference? Maybe just don't take it across then, just have it more centered. And we're going to bring it back to center anyway now. Just remember that and see what it's like on the other side. When we come to the other side. So this might feel easier, it might not. You may have got to the point where you just don't want to do this anymore. A few more breaths here. And then we can allow the leg to bend. Dropping the knee into the chest first of all. And then dropping that foot to the floor, stretching it out along the floor so both legs are straight. A little wiggle through the hips. We'll just take a moment or two to notice how the right leg feels compared to the left. See if you can notice any difference. If you can, what that difference might be. Relaxing down through the shoulders. Trying to let go as much as possible through both legs. And the breath to be easy. And then we're going to bend both legs again. Feet flat to the floor, a little wiggle through the hips. Making sure we can get that right foot in a good place, so it's not too close to the bum, not too far. We'll bring the left knee into the chest. Drawing this knee in close. Trying to release through the front of the leg. And the back of the leg, into the glutes. So this is actually a good time to think about that tension in the groin, because you've got that sort of compression at the top of the thigh. Right, okay. Well, when we do it again, have a think about that. Then we'll take this left foot up to the ceiling. Maybe moving the foot, if that helps. So the leg isn't super straight, but it's probably straighter than it was when we did both legs, maybe. It's easier for me. We just want to make sure that the pelvis isn't tilted too far up. Just to bring that knee into the chest. That's not what it's about. It's about trying to isolate the stretch just into the leg as much as possible. So from here, we're going to keep the left leg where it is. We're going to straighten out the right leg across along the floor. So again, you might, at this point, need to hold on to that leg. I did this last night, so my legs are a bit tired. So from here, let's bend this left leg, find the strap, I'm going to take the strap around the bottom of the foot. And we're going to take this left foot up to the ceiling. We want a nice straight leg, using the strap to find that straightness. So if we do need to bring the left leg down towards the floor in order to find that, you can just experiment, see how much easier it is if it goes closer to the floor. See if we can relax back through the shoulders. Really focusing on straightening this leg as much as possible. Seeing if we can find some softness in it. And then we're going to take the left leg over to the left side. Opening out across the inside of this left leg. Noticing if this is how this feels compared to the other side. Can you even remember? We're trying not to do it so far over that we fall over to the left side. Trying to find some heaviness through that right hip, through that right leg, as much as possible. And then we're going to bring the left leg up to the center. I'm going to hold it here for a little while. Just notice how it feels compared to before. If it feels any different. See if we can release and relax down through that right leg. Trying to release any tension or holding on through the lower back. Breathing in fully into the chest. Imagining this is super easy. And then we're going to take it over to the right hand side. Just taking it as far as you need to go. Looking to see if we can find some softness. So you'll probably find it easier if it doesn't go too far over. So you can relax down through that left shoulder. Oh, if it's shaking, bring it more back to the center. We're going to come back to center, everybody, anyway. There we go. It just means that you've taken it a bit too far if it starts to shake. Because we hold the stretches for a long time relative to other sort of yoga classes, it means we shouldn't go as deep into the stretch as we might do if it was a vinyasa type, where you might only hold it for a few breaths. we tend to hold these stretches, even on the Friday class, for a minimum of a minute, which is quite a long time. But it teaches us to find the softness, hopefully. In the full-on yin classes, we might hold the stretches for 2 to 5 minutes. So long time. So we just need to, if we allow the leg to bend, left leg to bend, it just means that we have to be patient. Drop the left foot down to the floor and stretch out along the floor. So it's interesting to see how the legs feel now. Compared to before. Often they feel longer. That's what Karen said, wasn't it? Yeah, she doesn't need longer legs. No, she's full enough. You need to do something similar with arms then, don't you? Yeah. And then we're going to roll all the way onto our front from here. Someone on our massage course, Sandra, who's got really long arms. Really? That's so unfair. Well, it means it's easier for her in a forward fold, isn't it? Yeah. She can reach those feet or floor easily. So just drop the head down. Give a little wiggle through the hips. Try to let go as much as possible. So your head can be to the side if it's more comfortable for you. It's just not possible for me with my glasses on. And we're going to bend the right leg. So bring the foot up towards the ceiling. We're going to stretch the quads, so the front of the thigh on the right side. See if we can release through the front of that thigh to start off with. Now, if you know your leg likes to bend easily, then you might want to reach around with the right hand and pull onto the front of that ankle or hold on to the leggings. But try not to do it so that your shoulder is straining. It's not worth it. If you're clever, I can't do it actually, but you can sometimes hook your strap around your foot and bring the foot in using the strap. I tell you what, we should do actually for next time at least, is to make a little hole, like a loop. A loop, yeah. Not a hole in the strap. I knew what you meant. Yeah. So that you can hook the foot into that. Except I've done it wrong. Anyway, by the time I'm got it, will be ready for the other side. I've just got it twisted. So you could hook it into it and bring it in. I know it's quite a lot of effort, isn't it? That's why we have to hold the stretch for such a long time. Actually got it. Kind of works, doesn't it, Sandra? Yeah. Anyway, we can let go now. But we will be ready for the other side, for the left side. And we're off for the left side. Bend the left leg. This is meant to be a relaxing yoga class. What's going on? Yes, you can. You're not alone. You can use, if you can hook it around the foot or the front of the ankle, then you can then relax a bit more once you're there. Just focus on the stretch along the front of the leg. It's quite nice there, isn't it? Once you're there, think about letting go through the front of that thigh. A few more breaths here just to make it worthwhile. Now we're here. And then you can let go. Just leave it there. You can get it off later. Put the foot down on the floor. Little wiggle through the hips. Whew, and just let go of any effort. And then we're going to push all the way back to a child's pose, or our version of a child's pose. Might be a little easier because we've stretched out the quads. Think about breathing into the back of the body, particularly into the lower back. And breathing between the shoulder blades if you prefer. Huh? And I'm going to push up to all fours. Have a little wiggle through the hips. We'll take some cat cows just to reawaken the spine. We're going to breathe in, drop the belly down, open up the front of the shoulder. Breathe out, curl the back up to the ceiling, drop the chin. Breathing in. And out. Let's do 2 more of those with your own breath. When we're ready, we can come to a neutral position. We can take the left foot back, tuck the toes under, push that heel back. Stretch out the calves. Hopefully gently. So you can stay on the hands if you want, or you can come down to the forearms. We're going to take the left leg out to the side. Thinking about that right hip being over the right knee, so not pushing over to the left. So we get the stretch through the inside of the left leg. If you want to, you can add in a little twist. If you're on the right forearm, you can take the left arm up into the ceiling and look up. It's quite nice. Quite a lot of pressure coming down through the shoulders, but if you can bear it, it's quite nice. You can do that on the hand as well if you want, if you prefer. Great, you can bring the hand down. Bring that left knee in to join the right knee. Take the head down and just relax through the shoulders. You've got weight coming down through the head rather than just into the shoulders. Give them a little bit of a break. And come back to all fours again, so hands and knees. So walk over a little bit. Yeah. Actually, I'm just going to turn around. I think it's easier. So take the right foot back. Tucking the toes under, stretching out the back of the right Achilles, lower leg. And then take this right foot out to the side. You can come to forearms if you want. Try and keeping the left hip over the left knee. So not sliding too far over to the right side. If we want to add in that twist, we can. Taking the right arm up. If that works for us. I think it's easier on the hand, isn't it, Sandra? Yeah. Doing that. You have less of a stretch down the inside of the leg, though, I think. So I guess it depends what you want to do more, what you want to focus more on. Then you can bring that hand down. Bring the right knee in to join the left and drop the head down to release through the shoulders. Take the weight off the shoulders. And then we're going to come back to hands and knees. Take both legs back. So we come to a plank. I'm going to push the heels back on both legs. Try and lower the bum as much as possible, trying to bring in the strength through the core of the body if possible. Remember, you can always bend the legs if you want. We're going to have 2 more breaths here. And then we're going to drop the knees down. Bring the forearms to the floor, drop the chest down between the elbows, little arch in the lower back. And then push the whole body forward. Come to our cobra. Move the arms if we need to. So chest away from the floor, opening out the front of the shoulders. Pulling up from the pelvic floor. So slight engagement of the inside of the legs. Through the pubis into the lower belly. Relaxing those shoulders down as much as possible, head in a neutral position. And then we're going to push back to child's pose again. All the way back. I'm going to come to all fours. So I'm going to bring the right knee forwards towards the right thumb and walk this left foot back. So this is like a different version of the knee into the chest. We're just using the weight of the body and gravity. So if you can see. There we go. And then we can just rock from side to side. Easing out the back. We'll walk our hands all the way around to the right-hand side to take a look behind us, a little twist, a little stretch through the left-hand side of the body. Maybe we can spot our left foot from here, or somebody else's left foot. Or maybe something else in the room catches your eye behind you. And then you're going to walk the hands back to the center again. Rock from side to side. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And then we walk our hands round to the left. We can definitely see our left foot now. Spotting it there behind us. So we keep this left leg where it is if we want. Or if we want to bend the left leg, we can do that. If we want and can, reach around to the foot. We can do that and bring the heel in. Oh, close. It's a strong stretch through the front of the, yeah, it's cramping. How do you get into the position again? Okay, come to all fours. And then bring this right foot, right knee towards the right thumb. Walk that left leg back a bit. And then look over, take the hands around to the left. And then bend that if you want to. Yeah. There we go. Now we're here. I've got to wait a bit longer because Kate's only just got into position. And then we can let go if we've got hold of it, so it can be straight. We walk round back to the center, rock from side to side, and then we're going to rock all the way over onto our outside of our right leg. Whew. It's nice when it gets there, isn't it? So this right foot can stay where it is, or you can walk it out. Walking it out is quite intense on the hip. So if you know you've got super open hips, do that. Otherwise, keep the foot in relatively close. We're going to turn to look at this right knee. Walk the hands or the forearms forwards. And we're going to take a little rest, dropping the chest down over this right thigh, dropping the head down towards the floor. So it can rest on a block or a cushion, or you can have one fist on top of another. It's quite nice to have it supported on something. If you can. Once you're there, it's quite relaxing. Why don't you turn your block onto its side? Mm-hmm. Yeah. There we go. That makes it a bit easier. So we do stay here for a little while. This is quite a nice, well, I think it's nice, resting position. It's a good opportunity to let go deep into the glutes on the right side. So every time we breathe in, we broaden out between the shoulder blades, across the back. It's a really good opportunity when you are restricting the chest. So either in child's pose or this sort of version or whatever, because you can't open the belly up and the chest up in the same way because it's stopped, because it's against your leg. So it forces you to expand into the back of the rib cage. So quite often we don't use the back ribs enough in our breath. Don't allow them to expand fully. So we are going to look up from here, place the hands on the floor. If this foot did come away, then bring it back in close to the groin. And we're going to rock over so we're back to where we started. Here, just rocking from side to side. This is the cool bit. Love this. So you're going to keep the feet where they are. You're going to lift the right knee and go over that the toes of the right foot. Oh, we just pause here, actually. That's a really good stretch for the Achilles. Oh, do you think? That's worth staying there for a little bit. Oh, you can tell I've got tight calves. And then we continue the hands walking back. So this, for some of us, is easy to sit back on this heel. If it's not easy for you, you're just going to rock over and have the foot in front of you. So the leg's bent. But if it is easy, we're going to stay here. And we're going to open the right foot out at an angle and open that left knee. So you could be sitting here like that. Yeah?
With my right leg.
So the right foot is to the floor?
Yeah, it's all right. I've got my...
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
You got that. You got that. Yeah. So you're either here or you're here. We're going to raise the arms up as we breathe in. As we breathe out, we bring the hands in prayer, take them down through the chest, and take the chest forward for a little bow. Nice hip opener on the right side. So Maureen, you can sit on your bum like that. Bend the left leg, bring the foot in to the groin, and have the right foot flat to the floor, knee pointing up. And then we're going to try and bring this right forearm in front of the right knee and take a bend forwards. There we go. Three more breaths here. And then we can look up. Bring that left knee in a little bit closer. So you can keep the left knee where it is. Bring this right foot in. So again, if we are kneeling, we can sit here. If we're sitting on the floor, we can just sit here. So everybody's going to straighten this right leg out in front of them. So yeah, Kate, if you can hover on this, it just brings your pelvis up a bit higher. This is like in the Ashtanga where you sort of sit on the pelvic floor. Do you know that one? Oh, okay. So in the Ashtanga, you have this little routine where you do this, you do that, you sit on the perineum, and then you walk forwards to that. It's quite a nice little movement if you can do it. Anyway, wherever we are, we're going to take a forward fold over that straight leg, taking the chest down. Lovely jubbly. So we just got the left leg bent where it was before, knee out to the side, and we're looking out over the straight leg, taking a bend forwards. It's in the right place. Yeah, it's if you can sit on the heel, you can do that. If you can't, you have to have the knee out. Yeah. My feet are just so dry. I need to get some. Don't look at the feet. That's not what we're focusing on. Okay, so folks, thank you, Georgina. Focus on the breath, not the dry feet. So we're here, aren't we, people? Most of us. Yeah? We're going to push down to the floor to see if we can bring ourselves, our bum up, bending this right leg. Oh, let's see if we can get there. Here. However we get here, okay? So I'm going to bring this left knee in. Wouldn't be so much fun, would it, if we just did everything the same each week and we knew what we were doing? We're going to just walk this right foot forwards a little bit. Yeah, because we're going to come into a deep lunge. And then we're going to walk the hands forwards. Oh, here we go. So you're in a deep lunge. Just take it as far as you can with that right heel definitely on the floor. So I can't even do it. But some people come further forwards by taking this right heel up. I can't do that. But some people can. We don't want to do that. So just in a lunge position, Maureen. So we're on our left knee and the right foot is forwards on the floor. Or the other way around, if you're Georgina.
My left and my right aren't working today. Oh, I'm here now.
Okay, brilliant. Nice and deep into this. And then we're going to walk the hands back, keeping the bum up high. The right foot can be flat to the floor, or we can lift the toes up for a more intense stretch down the hamstrings. And you might want to hold on to those toes. If you're holding on to the toes, use the left hand because it's easier to balance that way. Do you know what? We've got to try and remember what we did so we do it all on the other side. This is the last of it. Well, you could, but then...
You're all going to hate me, but I remember that first position because that's when I came out of the toilet.
Yeah, no, we did two before that, though.
Oh, okay.
And then we're going to just come back, walking the hands back, taking this right knee back. And let's have a little rest in child's pose. So just come to forearms if you want. Drop the head down if you want. The bum doesn't have to come down. You just want to have a resting position, whatever that position is for you. I mean, if it is restful, you can do the full child's pose. I think I've probably said this before, but it wasn't until I was doing a concert and I was talking to these guys in the pub, as you do. And I said, oh, you just do a child's pose. I just got on the floor and just did this like that, thinking that was the easiest thing in the world. And they just like were all staring at me going, oh my God, they couldn't imagine doing it. So there you go. What's easy for one is difficult for another.
Some red wine or something?
Oh no, I do different things after red wine. More advanced. More treacherous. And then we're going to look up. Okay, so hands and knees. I remember this because this is actually my favourite little sequence of routine. I love all this stretches. So I'm sorry if you don't. Love them quite as much. So we're going to bring the left knee forwards to the left thumb. Going to walk that right foot, opposite foot, back. We just have a little rock and roll here. This is just to ease out the back, okay? Oh, and then we walk the hands around to the left side this time and see if we can see our right foot or something else. If you're walking the other way around. No, you're right, sorry, you're right. It's because you're opposite to me. Try and release and relax through that lower back. And then we're going to walk the hands back to the center. Little rock. Just ease it all out. And we walk the hands around to the right hand side. A lot easier to see the back foot. So we can stay here with the leg bent if we want, or we can bend the leg. This is where you came in, Kate.
All right.
And hold on to that foot, ankle, whatever. Bringing this foot in as close to the bum as you can. It is very intense because it's stretched through the front of the hip as well as through the quads. See if you can just release and relax into the other part of the body. It's not working for you. And then we can let go of that foot if we've got hold of it. We're going to walk the hands round to the center. A little rock from side to side. We're coming up to our resting pose. So we're going to rock all the way over to our left side. So again, if you've got the foot close to the groin, you've got open hips, you might want to bring that left foot forwards. You can't see me, but I can't. You know what I mean? This left foot is here, or it can stay in close to the groin. We're going to face the left knee, walk the hands forwards, drop the chest into the thigh, drop the hands, head down to the floor. Oh, we get to stay here for a couple of minutes. So really try and let go through the outside of that left leg. Into the glutes. Try and relax through the right leg. Well, I think you swapped halfway through. So if you felt like you did, then swap around now.
I was in this position before. I'm not very well this morning, obviously.
It's fine. There's a lot of lefts and rights. I'm going to hold on to this for another half a minute. I can't do this stretch myself, otherwise we'd be here for about 10 minutes. I just love it so much. Especially on this side, it's my left side. It's tight on the glutes. And then we're going to look up. Rock over. All the way. So back to where we started. Now, this is where the fun begins, if you remember. So we're going to start walking the hands back. The feet stay where they are. We come over the toes, roll over those toes on the left side. Remember, we're going to pause here just because it feels nice. Stretch down into the Achilles. I think I might have upset Maureen. She's disappeared.
Not being very comfortable in this position.
No, it's hard, but it's so nice. Shame not to do it. Right, we're going to walk the hands further back, bringing the bum either to the heel, or if we prefer, we can sit down and bring this right foot inside. Yeah? So prefer to sit not on the heel, you can do that. If you know you can do that, we're going to stay. We're going to take the knees wide of each other. So the right knee goes out, which it will do if you're sitting on the floor. And we're going to walk this left foot out. So the left knee comes out that way. Ideally, we want to create space between the two knees so that when we breathe in, raising our arms up, breathing out, bringing the hands together, hands down through so they come to the chest, and then we take the chest forwards. I used to get, believe it or not, my head on the floor in this position. I can't even believe that I did that, but anyway. With my bum still on the heel. A few more breaths here. And then we're going to look up. Place the hands on the floor. So if your bum is on the floor, you're just going to stretch out the left leg. For us who are sort of hovering over the heels, we bring that right knee in first, and then we stretch out the left leg. Yeah? There we go. So we've either got this right leg. Yeah, you can just come to the floor if you want, because it's quite intense on that back, on the foot. Okay, so wherever we are, we're going to take the chest forwards for a forward fold. So we could be sitting on the floor with the leg bent, taking the chest forwards, leg bent, the right knee out to the side. Or we could be sitting on that right heel and going forwards over the left leg. I think you're right, Kate. If you put something under this foot, it makes it easier, doesn't it? That's where the pain is, rather than the stretch. Doing the stretch down the back of the left leg, hopefully. Couple more breaths here. And then we're going to look up. And this is where we come to our lunge position. So if you're hovering, it's easy, you just come up. If you're sitting back, it's a little bit harder, but you can still, I mean, to be honest, you could just take the leg out and bring it to that position. If that makes sense to you, Rosie. Just come to a lunge, however you want to come to it. So we're going to see if we can take the knee relatively far back, the right knee relatively far back, or the left foot far forwards, and we walk the hands forwards to come into that deep lunge. Oh, it's good, isn't it?
It's not a word I use.
Think about the breath. This is all preparation for the splits, which we won't be doing. Mainly because I can't do them myself.
I like your sense of humour.
If Karen were here, she'd be like working her way into the splits. We know, wouldn't she? Yeah, exactly. I've only got to half mention the word and she's into it. See if we can find a little bit more softness in this. Maybe as we sit with this, we can just lunge a little bit further. And then we're going to take the body back. So remember, we'll keep the bum up for this. We start to straighten this left leg. So it doesn't come super straight, I don't think. Maybe you can. If we want to intensify, we can take the toes off the floor and reach around with our left hand to pull the toes towards the shins. Hold on to those toes. Ooh. Oh, is that okay with you to balance that way, Carol? I find that I fall over more that way. I said left. Oh, I said left, but I'm obviously meant right.
I was going to say, I can see you using it. That's why I'm getting confused.
You know why? Because when we normally teach this class, you have to mirror normally. So because I'm doing it on Zoom, I'm actually doing it the same side as you, but normally I would be doing the opposite and saying the opposite. It's very confusing. A couple more breaths here. And then we can let go. Walk this or take this left knee back and come to a resting child's pose. Don't worry, we're nearly at the end of the class. We didn't even come to stand. I've only done half of my sequence I've written. Relax through the shoulders. Breathing into the back. Taking everything nice and slow. And then we can look up. We're going to rock over to our bum, bring the legs out in front of us. No. We're almost there. So we're going to take the legs wide. Legs wide. We're going to rock from side to side, easing the chest forwards as we do. Okay, so the stretch is back of the legs, inside of the legs. So don't go too far forwards that you compromise the back. Relax through the feet. When you've come to a position where you can feel the stretch in your legs, then you can place the hands either on the floor or the legs. We're just allowing the chest to fall towards the floor. It's coming as far forwards as you need to come. Trying to find the softness in the back of the thighs to let go. Really thinking about those legs rolling outwards. So you're not creating any tension, hopefully. Nice and relaxed. Through the back of the shoulders. And we're going to look up. Walk the hands back. Lean back to bring the feet in, feet together, bend the legs. Give yourself a little hug. So this, now looking up, it's our last posture. So you probably don't want to do it, some of you. So we're going to lie back, but we're going to take the feet wide, okay? So the knees drop into each other. Now, if you know that you like to bring, you can do this, Kate, yeah? With the bum between it, you can do that and start to come backwards. Otherwise, that is not a thing. Yes, you can lean back. Otherwise, if you don't want to do that, you can take the feet as wide as possible, drop the knees down as far as possible, and lie back. Yeah? So it's kind of like a modified version of it.
I can't get my knees down. Actually, that's quite good because I get a stretch now instead of breaking my skeleton.
Yeah, you don't want to break the skeleton. But you see, that's effectively, we're doing the same thing. We're just not.
Yeah, am I supposed to have my knees on the floor?
No.
I was going to say.
No. If
That's a really good
you don't want to do it.
I'm too scared to do it.
Okay, fine.
Because I had low back problems.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We'll do the same.
Down there.
So basically, just have the legs in front of you. Have the legs bent like this and lie down.
Okay. Like that.
Yeah, and then take the feet wide.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
So you come to us. Yeah, well, this is kind of, if you're Karen, let's say, who's got that lovely internal rotation, this then is how she feels in it, how you're feeling now. See what I mean? because you've still got that internal rotation still spreading out across the lower back. You're just taking it to where you can take it. So we'll have another minute here in this position. Nice, easy breath. And then very slowly start to walk the feet towards each other. So the hips come back into a neutral position. And now we come to our Shavasana. So we can straighten the legs straight away, or we can keep the legs bent for a while. Depends on your lower back. Finding all the bits and bobs you need to make yourself comfortable. Taking the hands away from the body. Allowing the shoulders to rotate outwards. Allowing the back of the body to find that contact with the floor and release into the floor. So the floor supports our weight. And we find that softness through the front of the body. So the front of the body can expand fully to fill the space above and around us. The breath is easy. Bring our focus inwards, allowing our body to fully rest. So waking yourself up. Moving for the fingers of the toes. Got a nice spot there, Kate.
After shielding from the sun.
Giving yourself a big stretch when you're ready. And then you bring the knees in, a little rock and roll. And then rock yourself up to a seated position. Just center ourselves, finding a comfortable sitting position for you, resting the hands in the lap or on the legs. We're going to close the eyes. Take some breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. So breathing in together through the nose and out through the mouth. Breathing in and out. Last time, breathing in and out. Opening the eyes when you're ready. Thank you all. My legs feel fab.